Hello. Welcome to Miss Smith Presents. I am Miss Smith. We are broadcasting live from Salem, Oregon, and we have a lively little crowd. Let's hear you. A funny thing about that, I had someone ask if I would produce their show. And I had to explain, I only produce my own people, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, can you help me get a crowd? And I said, see, radio and TV, it sounds like a throng of people. There's a throng of people here. Those of you that are watching online, somewhere on your screen is an obvious button that says subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel and hop into the chat window. In the chat window, as Ms. Smith Presents, is absolutely nobody because all of those people are in the room, so behave. And let us know where you are. Sam and Erin and all performers will be able to go visit the chat window after the performance and see who was here. So those of you that are watching from Utah, give Sam hell. I am also the artistic director of the Newport Performing Arts Festival. Would you believe it? We are in our 5th year as the Newport Performing Arts Festival. This year it will be August 3 through the 9th in Newport, and I have a couple of events to announce that are happening in May that are benefits for Newport Performing Arts Festival. The first, Milo Grommans is one of our beloved staff members. He's a fabulous pianist, composer, just a wonderful guy, and he is going to do a concert Saturday, May the 2nd at Summit Community Center. Check out our website for that information. Evidently, it is a sweet little intimate venue, kind of an internal event. I'm going to go and crash the party and see what's going on there. But if you're interested, the information is on the website, and I thank you in advance, Milo, for all of your support and for this concert that you're putting on. We have a big event. It is the Art C. See what we did there? Art C. Lisa thought of that. I thought that was great. The art show is on Saturday, May the 23rd. That is Memorial Day weekend. So if you're looking for someplace to go to the coast and check this out. It's a pop-up art show and market, and we are going to have live entertainment from noon to 4, and a lot of local artisans, some people right here in the room that are going to offer art, and some locals in Newport and beyond, and it's just going to be a whole lot of fun at the Newport Visual Arts Center happening on Saturday, May the 23rd. Today's show is a benefit for, specifically, the Linda Knighton Scholarship Fund. Linda is our founder, whom we miss dearly. And in her honor, the Linda Knighton Scholarship Fund was set up, and it assists specifically for registration costs for those who are in need. We'll talk a little bit about that later. To begin this particular show, the entire first half is a tribute to the great Tom Lehrer. Tom Lehrer was a singer-songwriter. He died July the 26th, 2025. That was last summer at the age of 97. And that wonderful man, before he died, made all of his songs public domain. So his entire collection, you can perform and download and get the songbooks and just have a ball with them. He was an American musician, a satirist, that's my favorite part about him, and a mathematician. So he was a math teacher at the university level and later taught musical theater. I love watching old videos of him when he's performing in the 50s. Right? It's like black and white, and all of these people are sitting around a cabaret room, looking very high art, very serious, while he's singing just the most ludicrous, it is so fantastic. So check him out also if you don't know who he is. It is my pleasure to introduce and welcome our star for the day, Sam Kinney in April Fool.
Something familiar, something peculiar, something for everyone, a comedy tonight. Something appealing, something appalling, something for everyone, a comedy tonight. Nothing with kings, nothing with crowns. Bring on the lovers, liars, and clowns. Old situations, new complications. Nothing portentous or polite. Tragedy tomorrow, comedy tonight. Something convulsive, something repulsive, something for everyone, a comedy tonight. Something aesthetic, something frenetic, something for everyone, a comedy tonight. Nothing with gods, nothing with fate. Weighty affairs will just have to wait. Nothing that's formal, nothing that's normal. No recitations to recite. Open up the curtain, comedy tonight. That was Comedy Tonight from Stephen Sondheim's Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. Now, I grew up in Utah, where the prevailing winds brought the fallout from the nuclear tests in Nevada into us. In this first Tom Lehrer song, it talks about the AEC. That's the Atomic Energy Commission. And you have to realize that the crew of the Enola Gay practiced dropping the bomb in Wendover, Utah. Along the trail you'll find me loping, where the spaces are wide open in the land of the old AEC, where the scenery's attractive and the air is radioactive. Oh, the Wild West is where I wanna be. Mid the sagebrush and the cactus, we'll all watch those fellas practice dropping bombs in the clean desert breeze. I'll have on my sombrero, and of course I'll wear a pair of Levi's over my lead BVDs. I will leave the city's rush, leave the fancy and the plush, leave the snow and leave the slush and the crowds. I will seek the desert's hush, where the scenery is lush. How I long to see those mushroom clouds. Mid the yuccas and the thistles, I'll watch those guided missiles, while the old FBI, it watches me. Yes, I'll soon make my appearance, soon as I can get my clearance, 'cause the Wild West is where I want to be. Now, I remember in elementary school, we had 3 kinds of drills. We had fire drills like everybody does. We had earthquake drills. Everybody duck under your desks. The 3rd drill was when that air raid siren went off. We had to do civil defense drills. All the kids go down into the basement of our elementary school. Now, remember, you can never, ever, ever trust an atom. They make up everything. When you attend a funeral, It is sad to think that sooner or later, those you love will do the same for you. And you may have thought it tragic, not to mention other adjectives, to think of all the weeping they will do. But don't you worry, no more ashes, no more sackcloth, and an armband made of black cloth will someday never more adorn a sleeve. For if the bomb that drops on you gets your friends and neighbors too, there'll be nobody left behind to grieve, and we will all go together when we go. What a comforting fact that is to know. Universal bereavement, an inspiring achievement. Yes, we all will go together when we go. We will all go together when we go. All suffused in an incandescent glow. No one will have the endurance to collect on his insurance. Lloyd's of London will be loaded when we go. Oh, we will all fry together when we fry. We'll be French fried potatoes by and by. There will be no more misery when the world is our rotisserie. Yes, we all will fry together when we fry. Down by the old maelstrom, there'll be the storm before the calm. And we will all bake together when we bake. There'll be nobody present at the wake, with complete participation in that grand incineration. Nearly 3 billion hunks of well-done steak. Oh, we will all char together when we char. There will be no more moaning at the bar. Just sing out a Te Deum when we see that icy beam, and the party will become as you are. Oh, we will all burn together when we burn. There'll be no need to stand and wait your turn. When it's time for the fallout and St. Peter calls us all out, we'll just drop our agendas and adjourn. You will all go directly to your respective Valhallas. Go directly, do not pass go, do not collect $200. And we will all go together when we go. Every Hottentot and every Eskimo. When the air becomes Uranus, we will all go simultaneous. Yes, we all will go together. Yes, we all will go together. Yes, we all will go together when we go. In Utah, every sophomore boy received hunter safety courses. And we had the day off before hunting season from school. We actually had a day off for hunting season. Now, did you hear about the braces? Did you hear about the deer that had braces? Yeah, he had buck teeth. Will remember, was a year ago November, I went out to hunt some deer on a morning bright and clear. I went and shot the maximum the game laws would allow, 2 game wardens, 7 hunters, and a cow. I was in no mood to trifle. I took down my trusty rifle and went out to stalk my prey. What a haul I made that day. I tied them to my fender and I drove them home somehow. 2 game wardens, 7 hunters, and a cow. The law was very firm. It took away my permit, the worst punishment I ever endured. It turned out there was a reason. Cows were out of season, and one of the hunters, he wasn't insured. People ask me how I do it, and I say, there's nothing to it. You just stand there looking cute, and when something moves, you shoot. And there's 10 stuffed heads in my trophy room right now. 2 game wardens, 7 hunters, and a purebred Guernsey cow. And now, as Walmart, Home Depot, and Amazon would all like to remind you, there are only 204 shopping days until Christmas. This is Tom Lehrer's Christmas Carol. Christmas time is here, by golly, disappointment would be folly. Deck the halls with hunks of holly, fill the cup and don't say when. Kill the turkeys, ducks, and chickens, mix the punch, drag out that Dickens. Even though the prospect sickens, brother, here we go again. On Christmas Day you can't get sore, your fellow man you must adore. There's time to rob him all the more, the other 364. Relations sparing no expense, I'll send some useless old utensil, or a matching pen and pencil. Oh, just the thing I need. How nice. It doesn't matter how sincere it is, nor how heartfelt the spirit. Sentiment will not endear it. What's important is the price. Hark, the Herald Tribune sings, advertising wondrous things. God rest ye merry merchants, may you make the Yuletide pay. Angels we have heard on high tell us to go out and buy. So let the raucous sleigh bells jingle, hail our dear old friend Kris Kringle. Driving his reindeer across the sky, don't stand underneath when they fly by. I close this set with one of Tom Lehrer's most famous songs. It's called Poisoning Pigeons in the Park. Now, I think I'm just going to wing this one. Spring is here, oh, spring is here. Life is Skittles and life is beer. I think the loveliest time of the year is the spring. Well, I do. Don't you? Well, of course you do. But there's one thing that makes spring complete for me, and makes every Sunday a treat for me. Oh, the world sings in tune on a spring afternoon when we're poisoning pigeons in the park. Every Sunday you'll see my sweetheart and me as we poison the pigeons in the park. When they see us coming, the birdies all try and hide, but they still go for peanuts when coated with cyanide. Oh, the sun's shining bright, everything seems all right when we're poisoning pigeons in the park. We've gained notoriety and caused much anxiety in the Audubon Society with our games. They call it impiety and lack of propriety and quite a variety of unpleasant names. But it's hardly against my religion to want to dispose of a pigeon. So, if Sunday you're free, why don't you come with me and we'll poison the pigeons in the park. And maybe we'll do in a squirrel or two when we poison the pigeons in the park. We'll murder them all amid laughter and merriment, except for the few we take home to experiment. Oh, my pulse will be quickening with each drop of strychnine we feed to a pigeon. It just takes a smidgen to poison a pigeon in the park.
Sam, thank you so much for that elevated set of songs. Oh, Tom Lehrer and the rhymes. Is that some of the greatest rhymes that you have ever heard? I just want to say also April is Poetry Month, right? So I think that a lot of his lyrics are super poetry. I love that anyway. He's going to be back for more terrible jokes later, so you just hang tight. He'll be back. This is your reminder. Our beneficiary today is the Linda Knighton Scholarship Fund. Now, registration for Newport Performing Arts Festival is $300 for the week, and that includes everything. Somebody 2 years ago came to festival and said, $300? Am I missing something? And I said, no. We try to be as affordable as we possibly can. And we do acknowledge if you go to a week-long festival, it is thousands of dollars. I was looking at a piano camp for adults in Vermont, 3 days, $1,760, right? So $300, you're getting an amazing week a friendship and working with each other on performance and camaraderie. And so it really is, I think, a quite affordable price. We have 4 souls that need assistance, and we have covered half of one. Right? And so we need about another $1,000. So please consider going to the website, newportperformingartsfestival.org. And there are 2 different spots for you to give. One is the general fund, and one is for the Linda Knighton Scholarship Fund. And then also, those of you that are here, there is a QR code that leads you right there. And we also have a Venmo account. We are very proud of our Venmo account. We're on Venmo. NP Arts Fest, and you can donate that way. It is my pleasure now to welcome the awesome board president for Newport Performing Arts Festival to the microphone to talk about our beneficiary this summer and some of the good that we are doing at Festival. Please welcome Lisa Benson.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Lisa Benson, and I am the president on the board of Newport Performing Arts Festival. Thank you, Sam and Erin, for putting on this very entertaining concert to raise money for us. We're so excited to be bringing this year's festival to Newport this year. Registration is going like gangbusters, but there's still 10 spots left, and there will be day rates available for those who can only attend a day or 2. So consider spending time with us in August. Check out our website for details of the festival classes and workshops, newportperformingartsfestival.org. A big part of our mission is to raise money for local nonprofits in Lincoln County. This year's recipient is the Samaritan House in Newport, Oregon. The Samaritan House is an 11-unit complex for families who are experiencing houselessness to live in. Samaritan House is active in the community and partners with city, county, private nonprofits, and developers to discuss potential developing projects, utilization of low-income and affordable housing incentives, policy, and best practice for creating housing opportunities at every level. It is astonishing to me to see so many homeless people wandering the streets of Newport, Oregon today. I am a native Oregonian, and I've spent my whole life going to the Oregon beaches. It's very sad to see people suffering anywhere, but somehow the suffering seems to be so much worse at the beach, where I find it to be a very spiritual and healing place. So it's very out of place and just plain wrong to see that. So that's who our beneficiary is this year, and I thank you for every dollar that you're able to give. Speaking of every dollar you give, because of generous donors like you, we've been able to set up the Linda Knighton Scholarship Fund. She would be so happy to know that her legacy continues as we're able to fund performers with financial challenges to be able to attend our festival in her honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. And if you go to our website and look under About and Who We Are, you will see our vision statement. And one of those vision statements is that at Festival, we offer free concerts for a beneficiary of our choosing. And so this year, that is our beneficiary. Oh, Lisa, I forgot my pants. There were pants that I had for you to sew up. I have a hole in my crotch. And I just, I should have brought those. So sorry. She's such a wonderful board president. She has so many skills, I tell you. We love being part of the Newport community. Milo's concert, May the 2nd, and our Artsy show on May the 23rd with a lot of locals. Charlotte Van Zant King, the wild woman, we call her the Great Onion. There's a whole story there. I won't spend the time. But anyway, she came to me, and she is an artist her entire life. She has spent making art for public spaces, and she said, I've got an idea. Let's do an art show and have live music going on. I said, that sounds like a blast. And so it was Charlotte's great idea, and we are so happy to support that. So once again, May 23 for Artsy. Our guest artist is a wonderful performer who has been to every festival, including before it was the Newport Performing Arts Festival. In our first year, we were the Newport Song Festival. So she has been to every single one of those and is a beloved member of the Miss Smith studio. Please welcome Erin McGrath.
I've had much good luck as a performer. I've been cast in almost every show. From Carousel to Hair, on Broadway I was there, but you'd never know. Perhaps you picked me out last year in Phantom, or underneath my dirt in Miserable. But if you tried to pick me out from all the voices in the crowd, I'm certain that you must have had a problem. My plight is quite familiar to those who tread the boards at the Nederland or Schubert and Rialto. Although I've got a great high C, the reaction seems to be...
Wow. That's great, dear. But we need you singing alto.
Please give me a chance to sing melody. Give me a crack at the tune. I'm filled with chagrin every time I begin by the light of the silvery moon. Just one little shot at the melody. Give me a moment to shine. I'm sick of can't help loving that man of mine. Just look at Oklahoma, for example, that rousing final number of the show. While everyone is singing Oklahoma, I get skies, yo-ho. The hills are alive with the sound of music. Three little maids from school are we, pert as a schoolgirl well can be, filled to the rim with girlish glee. Three little maids from school. Touch me, it's so easy to leave me. What mirror where? Which, what, where, who? Such a pretty me, such a pretty me. Please pull a few strings for the melody. Don't care if the solo is teeny. It would be nirvana from heaven, such mana, to sing something other than Sweeney. I'm down on my knees for the melody. I'm begging with all of my might, just half a bar, and let this chorus go be a star tonight. Well, since I've been married to Sam for over 25 years, some of that humor has rubbed off on me too. I'm sure you could tell from that last song. After all, songs are what brought us together and have been a constant in our life. Unfortunately, the dad jokes have been there too. At least I have had better relationship luck than the person in this next song. I've had a slew of long, long years searching for my perfect mate. Kissed a lot of frogs, toyed with my food through lots of dinner dates. Through with men who love me but can't commit. I've scaled down my requirements quite a bit. I want a boy toy who will treat me right. I want a boy toy who won't put up a fight. A strong and handsome honey who cares if he has money. A boy toy up all night. I want a boy toy. I want a little pleasing. A boy toy who can take a little teasing. A virile young buck who can find some way to cheer me up. A boy toy for some squeezing. Though my friends and family may greet this news with shock, I don't want a Lothario who's been around the I don't mind a little training if he shows some aptitude, as long as he is hearty and always in the mood. Oh, I need a boy toy who has nothing to say. Don't speak. A boy toy who's fun all night and day, who cares if he's not brilliant as long as he's resilient. My boy toy, come and play. My needs are very simple. I just want a little fun. With 7 nights in every week, I may need more than one. It's not that I'm impatient, but I can hardly wait. Just give me tall, dark, handsome, available, and straight. I want a boy toy who doesn't need a mother. Say, you're cute. Do you have a younger brother? When school is out this summer, I'm open to all comers. My boy toy, come to your lover today. Let's play. Well, since Sam has included so many Tom Lehrer songs, I felt it was my duty to include one of my own. But please remember, this song is a product of its era. And take it in these challenging times with an enormous grain of salt. Smut! Give me smut and nothing but a dirty novel I can't shut if it's uncut and unsubtle. I've never quibbled if it was ribbled. I have devoured where others merely nibbled, as the judge remarked the day that he acquitted my adhortence. To be smut, it must be utterly without redeeming social importance. Pornographic pictures I adore, indecent magazines galore. I like them more if they're hardcore. Bring on the obscene movies, murals, postcards, neckties, samplers, stained glass windows, tattoos, anything. More. I'm still not satisfied. Stories of tortures used by debauchers, lurid, licentious, and vile, make me smile. Novels that pander to my taste for candor give me a pleasure sublime. Let's face it, I love slime. All books can be indecent books, but recent books are bolder, for filth, I'm glad to say, is in the mind of the beholder. When correctly viewed, everything is lewd. I can tell you things about Peter Pan and the Wizard of Oz. There's a dirty old man. I thrill to any book like Fanny Hill, and I suppose I always will if it is swill and really filthy. Who needs a hobby like tennis or philately? I've got a hobby rereading Lady Chatterley. Now they're trying to take it all away from us unless we take a stand, and hand in hand we fight for freedom of the press. In other words, smut are the adventures of a slut. Oh, I'm a market they can't glut. I don't know what compares with let's hear it for the Supreme Court. Don't let them take it away.
Erin McGrath. She dismounts with a song called Smut and claims that we take it with a grain of salt. Tom Lehrer, such a genius and always tongue-in-cheek. His expressive direction at the top of this piece is pornissimo. Everything about him is just hilarious. The second song that Erin McGrath sang was a song called Boy Toy. That's Mother's favorite song, isn't it, Mom? You love Boy Toy. It's by Jacqueline DeMuro, who lives in Oakland, California. She taught a cabaret workshop at the winter session. We had a special winter session almost 2 years ago now, I think. And that workshop on cabaret inspired Erin to do her own cabaret. And so it's just really cool watching people come to festival and maybe taking something that they never thought they would do. I've had so many people that I have interviewed as artistic director that are like, oh, I'm not a songwriter. That's not what I do. I'm not a composer. I'm not a songwriter. And now we're offering 3 different workshops in songwriting because people cannot get enough, right? Year after year, or sometimes they're like, well, I don't know. Everybody else is doing it. Let me try. And the bug is there, right? And so we're really doing some really, really great stuff. So once again, please go to our website, Newport Performing Arts Festival, and see what we're about. We've got Milo's show. We have the Art C show. I just love that title, Lisa. It's just fantastic. A fabulous and worthy beneficiary for our concerts. And even if you can't attend festival, if you're in the area, on the Wednesday night of festival, that is our faculty concert, and then on Saturday is our closing concert where you can hear everyone perform. It's just a really wonderful week, and thank you in advance, Sam, Erin, everybody that is in this room and watching. Thank you for considering donating to the Linda Knight and Scholarship Fund so that we can get everybody there to festival that would like to attend. It's time to chuckle and groan with the world's worst dad jokes. Had to figure out some transition material. There it is. Welcome back, our April Fool, Sam Kinney.
As you can tell, I'm Scottish. The Scots and the Irish are famous for their murder ballads. And in keeping with that fine tradition, I give you my last Tom Lehrer song. And this is noted in several different titles, but the one that I like is called The Irish Lullaby. About a maid I'll sing a song, sing rickety-tickety-tin. About a maid I'll sing a song who didn't have her family long. Not only did she do them wrong, she did every one of them in. She did every one of them in. One morning in a fit of pique, sing rickety-tickety-tin. One morning in a fit of pique, she drowned her father in the creek. The water tasted bad for a week, and we had to make do with gin. With gin, we had to make do with gin. Well, her mother, she could never stand, sing rickety-tickety-tin. Her mother, she could never stand, so a cyanide soup she planned. The mother died with a spoon in her hand, and her face in a hideous grin, a face in a hideous grin. Well, she set her sister's hair on fire, sing rickety-tickety-tin. She set her sister's hair on fire, and as the smoke and flames rose higher, she danced around the funeral pyre, playing a violin, playing a violin. She waited her brother down with stones, sing rickety-tickety-tin. She weighted her brother down with stone and sent him off to Davy Jones. All they ever found were some bones and occasional pieces of skin, and occasional pieces of skin. Now one day when she had nothing to do, sing rickety-tickety-tin. One day when she had nothing to do, she cut her baby brother in two. She served him up as an Irish stew and invited the neighbors in. She invited the neighbors in. Now when at last the police came by, sing rickety-tickety-tin, and when at last the police came by, her little pranks she did not deny, for to do so she would have had to lie. And lying she knew was a sin, and lying she knew was a sin. My tragic tale I won't prolong, sing rickety-tickety-tin. My tragic tale I won't prolong. If you do not enjoy my song, you've yourselves to blame if it's too long. You should never have let me begin. You should never have let me begin. At the suggestion of the composer, I modified Paul James France's Dancing with the Angels to be a Scottish version. It was originally done with a German accent. By the way, an angel walked into a pub. The bartender says, "We don't serve spirits here." When I was just a lad in kilt and hose, my ma, she said to me, "Well, I'm sorry to tell you that life is a hell. You must suffer till death set ye free." I started to cry. Ma, she took out her kerchief. She swatted away my tears and said, "Stop it." She was not a dear person. She said, "Laddie, you have to tough it out. But if you're faithful and devout, in the end, I promise you, it gets better. When the good Lord comes and he takes your hand, you're on your way to dancing with the angels. When you hear the sound of the bagpipe band, the music will wash all your cares away. Ash to ashes and dust to dust, as your remains crumble into the earthly crust. Your soul spread its wings and take off unto heaven. Then you will be dancing with the angels. And I said, "Ma, you make me so happy. I can't wait to dance with the angels." And I thought to myself, when I grow up and become a man, I'd like to help the people dance with the angels. If I work real hard, and I know I can find a way to end their mortal strife. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust, if you can hurry things along, you know I must. When I grow up and become a man, I'd like to help the people dance with the angels. And so I grew up. Like my father before me, I worked in the mines. McPherson was mine engineer. When the coal dust ignited, I got so excited. My calling was suddenly clear. When I heard the boom and I saw the flash, I knew McPherson was dancing with the angels. If I could make the boom and I could make the flash. At last I can fulfill my destiny. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. If the bang's not big enough, I can adjust. When make the boom and I make the flash, I get to choose who dances with the angels. So I studied black powder and dynamite too, with bottles of nitro and gelignite goo, and ways to explode them without losing fingers. You know I created some real humdingers. My first, he was the prince of the deceased. Before too long, 3 judges and a jury were deceased. 4 cousins of Prince Charlie, 5 pipers and their wives. My work today in summary, 67 lives. So facing 68 today, you ask me, am I done yet? Only question which I ask myself, are we having fun yet? I think so. Each time I hear the boom and see the flash, I know another soul is dancing with the angels. When the world goes bang and the world goes crash, St. Peter has to open up the gates. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. When it's mayhem you want, but Kinney is the name you trust. When I make the boom and I make the flash, I know another soul is dancing, and another soul is dancing. Everybody's dancing with the angels. Now for something totally different. I'm going to offer you a little different version of that fine old Scottish folk tune, Loch Lomond. It was on a summer's night when I got an awful fright, when I went for a swim in Loch Lomond, because when I came out, well, my clothes were nae about, for some passerby had pinched them in the gloamin'. So I couldna take the high road, and I couldna take the low road, as round and round I stumbled in the gloamin'. It was such an awful sight when they came out broad daylight. I was carried home in a blankie from Loch Lomond. So I went upon a spree at the local jubilee in a house on the banks of Loch Lomond, and I practically got hung when they heard the songs I sung.
Like this one.
And they threw me out of the banks of Loch Lomond, for I couldna hit the high notes, and I couldna hit the low notes. Aye, the master of the house, well, he was foaming, and I clean forgot the hair when he hit me with a chair, and they flung me out of the banks of Loch Lomond. So I had a drink or twa, and they rang when before I got a wa at a hotel on the banks of Loch Lomond, and I was clean enjoying myself when they rang that closing bell, and they flung me out of the banks of Loch Lomond. But I couldna see the high road, and I couldna see the low road, and round I stumbled in the gloamin'. Next morning, what the truth? Well, I'm telling ye the truth. I drank up half the water from Loch Lomond. Then another fright I got when I went out on a boat on a fishing expedition in Loch Lomond, for I'll hooked an awful weight, and I'm telling ye now straight. It took me from that night until next morning, for it would not take the high road, and it would not take the low road. That beast weighed o'er a ton, and I was foaming. But what do you think I seen shining back 2 eyes of green? It was the Loch Ness Monster in Loch Lomond. Now, before all my Scottish ancestors come and torture me with kelpies and brownies, we'll sing the real version of it. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love were ever wont to gae, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. For ye tak the high road, and I'll tak the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. For me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep sides of Ben Lomond, where deep purple hues the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. There we birdie sing, and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping, but the broken heart, it kens a second spring again, though the waeful may cease from their greeting. Oh, you tak the high road, and I'll tak the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. For me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. It's amazing how sad that song really is, because this is talking about the high road and the low road. The high road means you're going to take a boat, a plane, something to get back to Scotland. Low road means that I have passed away and I'm going down the underworld back to Scotland. So I'll be there before you will be. Now, bagpipes are kind of like onions. They make everyone around them cry. Now, this lovely little ditty has an audience participation component, so I'm going to teach you the chorus first. 50 years in a wee top flat, the poor old woman and her old tomcat. Join me. 50 years in a wee top flat, the poor old woman and her old tomcat. Now, unless you're a fluent Scots dialect speaker, there's a word in here that you probably don't understand. It's the lum. And it talks about someone coming down the lum. That's just like St. Nicholas coming down the chimney. The lum is your chimney. So, one more time with 50 years. 50 years in a wee top flat, the poor old woman and her old tomcat. In an attic flat in Dundee town, the poor old woman spread her tale around, that she lived all her life in her old top flat, with no other company than her old tomcat. 50 years in a wee top flat, the poor old woman and her old tomcat. Now one night she sat by the fire quite glum, when who do you think came down the lum? I'm your fairy godmother, so have no fear, to grant 3 wishes they sent me here. 50 years in a wee top flat, the poor old woman and her old tomcat. The old woman looked at her empty purse. I could always use some cash, of course. The fairy godmother waved her wand around, and lying on the ground was 10,000 pounds. 50 years in a wee top flat, the poor old woman and her old tomcat. Now a lovely figure and a face divine, for oh, just one night I wish were mine. Says the fairy godmother, I'll have her go, and she made her look like Marilyn Monroe. 50 years in a wee top flat, the poor old woman and her old tomcat. This lovely girl by the fire she sat. She turned her attention to the old tomcat. He's my only love, so here's my plan. Tonight, please make him a handsome man. 50 years in a wee top flat, the poor old woman and her old tomcat. This handsome man at last drew near, and he whispered softly in her ear, well, the night is young, but you'll regret the day that you took me to the vet. 50 years in a wee top flat, the poor old woman and her old tomcat.
Oh, it was worth the wait for that punchline, wasn't it?
My father taught me all about respect, how prejudice could make you miss out on a wonderful friendship. Now here's a song about a father and wise sayings. Now, do you realize a joke is a dad joke when it becomes apparent? My father came here from his home in Scotland. He was quiet and they said that he was wise. He and mother did their best to make a home and all the rest. But to talk to us he never had the time. Well, sure he'd say, pass the butter, or come here, young man. Keep quiet or you canna have a dime. Until the day I was leaving, when Dad finally had a reason for sharing his philosophy of life. He said a monkey fart should smell like a banana, an English fart should smell like cups of tea. Well, the farting of a fairy should be very light and airy. When a father farts, I hope you think of me. A Scottish fart should always lilt with laughter. It should melt your heart and melt your shorts as well. A lion's fart should roar with power, cuckoo short fart every hour. A nun's fart should have meaning but no smell. A strong man's fart should sound out like a trumpet. A pretty girl should barely even squeak. But the person you can trust is the one who'd rather bust than to ever let one rip right on the street. Well, from my old man, that really was an earful. I tried to understand just what he meant. His words were primitive and strong, so I wouldn't get them wrong. He was saying to be careful as I went. He was saying to be happy as I could be. He was saying, watch my step, and as I pass, beware who I look up to, and whatever else I might do, know that most of what you get from folks is just escaping gas. He said a monkey fart should smell like a banana. An English fart should smell like cups of tea. Well, the farting of a fairy should be very light and airy. When a father farts, I hope you think of me. Well, a Scottish fart should always lilt with laughter. It should melt your heart and melt your shorts as well. A lion's fart should roar with power. Cuckoos should fart every hour. A nun's fart should have meaning but no smell. A strong man's fart should sound out like a trumpet. A pretty girl should barely even squeak. But the person you can trust is the one who'd rather bust than to ever let one rip right on the street. This will be my final song. Yay! Thank you all for spending your time with us today. Thank you to my wonderful Erin for joining me. Zan back on the Zan cam, Brooks Graham, tech wizard, especially Miss Smith, performance coach extraordinaire. Please remember that this concert is a fundraiser for the Newport Performing Arts Festival, where we learn to perform, not compete. Now this last one, it's a whiskey business. I love Scotland's glens, and whatever else we lose, please leave us our glens, our glorious glens. Our mountains are grand, Ben Nevis, Ben Lomond too. You can have all those bends, but leave us our glens. Glenfiddich, Glendronach, Glenlivet, Glen Grant. Do you live without them? Well, you must know I can't. Put a drop in the glass of Glenspey or Glenrota. It's the perfectly bearable way to drink water. I'd willingly lose our culture or most of it, including that mess they call full Highland dress. The whole ethnic bit of haggis and hogmanay, well, I'd gladly dispense, but leave us our glens. Glenfiddich, Glendronach, Glenlivet, Glenfall. I once knew a man who'd sampled them all. Glenistlay, Glenugie, Glenkinchie, that's plenty. He looked 65, but in fact he was 20. Take our Scottish Highland Scottish, take our marches, strathspeys and reels, take our old Scottish waltz, but leave us our malts. You can take, if you wish, our ladies' conveniences and our gentlemen's, but leave us our glens. Glenfiddich, Glendronach, Glenlivet, Glenfine was great at communion when we ran out of wine. Glenistlay, Glenugie, Glenkinchie, Glenmorangie. I prefer them to Cointreau, which I find too orangey. Oh, breather, a Scot, whose aims and priorities, when laid on the line, are different from mine. Take our homes, take our jobs, take anything else you will, wife, family, and friends, but leave us our Glens. Glenfiddich, Glendronach, Glenlivet, Glen Grant. Can you do without them? If you must know, I can't. Put a drop in the glass of Glen Spey or Glendrotta. It's a perfectly bearable way to drink water.
Yes, as much as it pains me to say this, I believe they've asked for an encore.
One night when playing in the band, a girl came up and said, "You're grand." And I replied in notes no down. Now this is how the music goes around. Well, I blow through here, and the music goes round and around. Whoa, oh, 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 and it comes out here. I push that first valve down. The music goes round and around. Oh, 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 and it comes out here. I push that second valve down. The music goes round and round. Below, below, below. Tweedly-dee-dee-dee. Listen to that jazz come out. I push that other valve down. The music goes round and around. Whoa, oh, 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 and it comes out here.